So today is Tuesday the 10th of September and I'm down on the new allotment doing another session. We've already done quite a few sessions already. We've had this new plot now for around 5 weeks and I think we're making pretty good progress. We've already cleared a lot of the rubble from the ground. We've cleared all the weeds as well. There were a lot of brambles, a lot of dead gooseberry bushes, bricks, glass, plastic, bits of wood, nails, a lot of plastic by the way as well. I had to remove lots of plastic from underneath. That's going to cause a problem later on if we don't remove it, because that's not going to let the water through and we'll end up with problems like flooding. There was even carpet under there as well, which we don't want, so we've had to remove that. There's a big pile of rubbish which we've made in the corner of the plot over there. So I've got it pretty much level now. I've been leveling this for the last couple of sessions, just trying to get it as level as I can. It's not perfect, but I want it to be level because I'm going to be putting this weed suppressant membrane down on top. Doesn't have to be perfect, but I don't want any dips in it that are going to start gathering water. But for the most part, it's level. I am going to be putting some wood chip on top of this membrane in areas as well, because it's probably going to be quite slippy when I'm walking on this when it's wet. So that's what we're doing there. We're going to membrane the whole thing. I'm going to be building pallet compost bays. I've got about 12 pallets to build compost bays around the border there. We've got 5 raised beds built as well to go on my mum's side, and I've got about 40 30-litre containers to stick on there as well, the potato buckets. So this allotment is going to be completely no dig, and that is how we're going to do it. The ground isn't in a good condition at all. It's quite a mess, to be honest, so we're not going to be working the ground. I've got about 90 metres of this weed suppressant membrane. Hopefully it's going to be enough. Let's go. Okay, so that is actually around 2/3 of the plot covered over in weed suppressant membrane. Unfortunately, we do have to get some more because that wasn't enough. We used 90 metres of the stuff. I thought it was going to be enough. We didn't measure the plot. We should have done really, I suppose, but we're going to have to get another roll or two to do the rest of it. But I've definitely made a good start here, I think. I need to get a lot more pegs. It was a little bit tedious getting some of the pegs in because I discovered that there was even more carpet underneath the fabric, about 6 inches deep, some of it, and yeah, I just haven't got the time or energy to be lifting more carpet from underneath here. You know, I'd have to dig the entire lot up. And yeah, I'm not doing that. It's just gonna have to stay where it is. It's clearly been there for a very long time. I'm not too sure why carpet is being used. It's not really great. In fact, it's not really allowed, to be honest. You're not allowed to use carpet to cover things on this allotment site. And just like the song by Calvin Harris, it was acceptable to do it in the 80s, but it's not anymore. There's like a massive 8-foot wide rug over there as well, which I actually had to get a plot neighbour to help me move because it was that heavy. The thing weighed like half a ton because it was full of water. So yeah, that was no good either. So we have to cut that up and take that to the skip. Anyway, I'm just going to give you a quick walk around here and show you what I've done, because I've put a few pallets on there just to mark out the location of the pallet compost bays for when I do them. We'll have a look here quickly and then we'll have a look at what's going on the allotment, on my allotment, during the middle of September. Okay, so it does look a little bit rough at the moment. I do need to put more pegs down and stuff, but I think it's pretty level. It's level enough, and we've got a good bit of it covered now. I ran out of pegs, so I do have to put this down still with more pegs. This bit here has been levelled off as well. My mum put a bit down over here, but as you can see, there's still quite a gap. This is probably going to take another 50 metres of fabric at least to get the rest of this covered, I think. Still quite a bit to do. We're going to have to do it pretty fast though, because look, the weeds are starting to come back already. And these will continue to grow into the winter months because we have such mild winters in the UK. So getting these covered is a priority really. It's amazing how fast they grow. But there we go, that's my side at the moment. Not too bad so far. All this was covered in weeds just a few weeks ago, and there was a couple of trees there. There was loads of brambles and stuff everywhere. So I think I'm really happy with the progress we've made. Our pallet composting bays are going to be there and here. I think that's where we're going to put them, in the corner. And around this area here will be my potato buckets. There's probably enough space to fit all of them on here, plus extra, so that's good. So that's the new plot at the moment. You have to excuse the mess, it is a little bit messy around here. We've had a good little harvest today of a few things. Our sweet corn, well, that is all we've really got, to be honest. We had to harvest the rest of it. Big pain in the butt, that is. I'll show you the rest of it. We had a problem with rats. Some carrots there as well. Now, the carrots have done amazing this year. I'm made up with these. They've given us such a good crop this year. There's still loads to harvest. But yeah, super happy with them. Can't remember what variety they are. They're either Autumn King or Early Nantes. They look like Autumn King to me. But yeah, really good stuff. A couple of cabbages there. Slug damaged a little bit, but we're going to be making some coleslaw tonight with that. So that is the plan with those. Now, yeah, the sweet corn, absolutely gutting, really. Pretty much all of the cobs got demolished by the rats. You know, you're talking completely, like, they've just completely gone in on them. Every single kernel's been picked out of that one. There's socks everywhere. Now, you may know that I use socks to cover my cobs. It's worked in previous years, hasn't this year. The rats are becoming organised and they are becoming very intelligent little things. And they've figured out that they can nibble through the socks and get to the corn. Now, it was thought that the material of the socks deterred the rats because they didn't like the feel of the material. Clearly that is not true, so we're going to have to do something different next year. I'm really gutted about that. But at least we've got a few cobs. You know, I suppose it's better than nothing. So we'll go over here because we've finally got a sunflower. Middle of September, but a sunflower nonetheless. It's huge. It's probably about 10 feet, probably more than that actually. The sweet peas have gotten so heavy that they've actually fallen over now. Probably not going to bother picking them up now. They are coming to an end, I think. But these have done really well in the end. They did have a slow start early on. They weren't growing at all, actually, really. And I thought they weren't going to grow this year. But in the end, they got going. We've had some good pickings from them as well. We've had a good few bunches of sweet peas. So, success in the end for the sweet peas. We need to do a lot more de-weeding over here. We only cleared this bed the other week and already the weeds are coming up like mad. Same over here as well. I'm hoping that we can pick some leeks soon. A lot of them seem to be bolting. I'm not too sure why that is. Why is that? I don't know. We might be able to pick some of them going into the winter months. Some of them are getting to a decent size. More weeds. Big project with the strawberry cage over winter. We're going to be growing our strawberries in the buckets instead. strawberry cage revamp coming up over the winter for that. That'll be interesting. More empty beds, flooding because it's been so wet. Carrots, done really well this year, as you've seen in previous updates. We've had a really good year with carrots. More empty beds. Still got a few buckets of potatoes to be picking. We've harvested a good 15 or so buckets now. We've still got some more to do. I need to clear this bed of beans. They've pretty much finished now. The courgettes are still throwing some courgettes out. I picked a few yesterday. There's still a couple there, still going. There's a pumpkin there, which isn't huge, but the plants were doing nothing for the first half of the growing season. They weren't really doing anything. We have a pumpkin there as well, not very big, but better than nothing, I suppose. I think I'm going to allocate a large growing area for pumpkins next year. Because we've got the new plot, we're going to have a lot more space. Hopefully I can allocate an entire bed like this for pumpkins, hopefully. It's just they do take a while to get going, but there again, it's been a very wet and very cool summer. The runner beans are just leaning over like crazy. I've decided that I'm going to grow French beans next year, and the variety which I've chosen is Cobra, by the way. A subscriber suggested that I grow Cobra, really tasty variety of French bean, and that is what I'm going to actually try. Usually I'd grow runner beans, but the only problem with runner beans is they get stringy very fast, so I've decided not to do that this year. And actually I found that French beans do taste much better than runner beans. These are delicious, and they're much easier to prep as well. You can just top and tail them and that's it. But yeah, the beans are still going, but I'm going to do them a bit differently next year and just do the French beans. Now, a few days ago, we potted on a load of brassicas, and we noticed that there was some caterpillars starting to nibble them, so I've had to pull them off. Caterpillars on the kale plants, but they are bouncing back pretty nicely. There's some new growth coming back there. We've also got some purple sprouting broccoli and some wintergreen cabbages there growing pretty nicely. Another caterpillar there, we'll take him off. Yes, we do not want that. See, they're growing pretty nicely over there. We've got some cauliflower here, also growing pretty nicely. More purple sprouting broccoli, we've got plenty of that. We're going to be putting these in the potato buckets for overwintering soon, I think, because we've harvested quite a few potatoes now and we've got loads of compost left. I need to pot this lettuce on. This is all year round lettuce for the winter. Loads of spinach as well to pot on. Put somewhere. I'm going to have to do that very soon, I think, because they are starting to suffer a little bit in these modules. So we've got a few buckets of these carrots as well, which are growing really nicely. We sowed these, I think we sowed one bucket 2 months ago and the other bucket about a month ago, and they're doing really nicely. Not too close together. I've allowed a bit more space between the plants with these, and I can see a few tops of them there. They are growing all right, I think. Hopefully we'll have some nice carrots for Christmas, hopefully, with these. The rest of the greenhouse this week, not much change on last week, to be honest. Slowly ripening these tomatoes now, very slowly. I found that it is slowing down though quite a lot, you know, because it is getting cooler in September. A quick inspection around the tops of these parsnips tells me that they're doing pretty well. There's quite a few decent sizes there. I'm not going to pull any up yet, although it is very tempting. I'm going to wait until like October, November at least before I pick any of these. I've got a feeling that they've done really well this year because they've grown super nice and lush. I'm expecting a good crop with them, and hopefully we can have carrots and parsnips with Christmas dinner, because hopefully we should have loads of carrots by then as well, so that's good. Okay, so we're in the small polytunnel now, and it's a blimmin' mess, to be honest, as it always is in September. We've got loads of physalis over here. Whether or not we get physalis or not, we will see. Not too sure though. The flowers have only just started setting fruit. We do have some of these little lanterns on the go there. Whether or not they turn into full-size ripe fruits, I don't know, because we are middle of September now. So, you know, time's running out really. We've got a lovely honeymoon tomato here, which does have a little spot of blight on the side of it there, which is very frustrating. It's a blight-resistant variety, this. And, you know, I'll give this variety credit because, you know, all the other varieties tend to get blight in July, August, but this is still going. I'm going to pick it because of the blight, and also because we'll probably end up with issues with flipping rats or slugs. I'm going to pick this other one here, which is just starting to turn, because yeah, I feel like the blight or some sort of pest is going to go in on that very, very quickly. Our butternut squashes, absolutely brilliant this year, to be honest. I mean, that is just, look at that. I don't think I've ever managed to achieve a butternut squash that big before, seriously. So that is a win for me. I mean, as long as I'm getting better each year and I'm improving and getting better results each year, that is all I care about. You know, so, some people end up with literally dozens of butternut squashes, but I'm happy with just that one at the moment. Saying that though, there are a couple of others. There's two there. There's some more there. I've hand pollinated a few of them as well. There's a couple more over there. You know, there's quite a few of them actually. There's even some more down here somewhere. Look down, see. Yeah, I can see a few more down here. I can see about a dozen of them in total. I don't know if they'll come to fruition and give us a crop because they are only small, but you know, the fact that I've achieved butternut squash plants that are that big is really good for me anyway, because I never manage to grow them at all usually. It's quite a mess over here. I'm only going to grow one aubergine plant next year because for the most part they've not really done anything, to be honest with you. The one aubergine plant in the greenhouse has given us a good crop. We've had a few harvests off that. But I decided I'm just going to grow one next year and sort of go with the less is more approach with that. The sweet potato plants, blimey, yeah, they've just gone completely crazy, they have. I don't know if there's going to be anything underneath. I don't know. I've never grown sweet potatoes before, so I don't really know what to expect. Some in containers here. Should we try and have a little sneak peek? See if we can see anything under there. You've got to have a sneak peek, haven't you? Okay, I think I can feel something there. Some sort of little tuber on the go there, but it's only very small. I don't know. We'll see what we end up with the sweet potatoes. First time I've ever grown these, so I think I'll be happy with anything, to be honest. Mini munch cucumbers, they're not doing very great, to be honest. That looks a little bit like mosaic virus, doesn't it? I don't think it is. I think they're just running out of energy now. They've used all the nutrients in the soil. I did give them a plant feed last week. It doesn't really seem to have done much. There are a few little cucumbers on there. I did pick a handful of these the other day though. I think they will produce more. They still have a bit of life left in them, but I think we're talking only a couple of weeks. We do have a frost forecast in a couple of nights actually. So I might have to actually try and close all the vents up and make sure the greenhouse is closed. It's forecast to get very close to freezing in a couple of nights, so September is actually very early for a frost for us. We live in zone 8B. Middle of September, usually it's like back end of October into November we get our first frost, so that's very early indeed. Pepper plants still producing peppers actually. There's still a lot of these baby peppers on. It's absolutely throwing it down again. Yeah, there's loads of these peppers on here. They definitely won't ripen before the end of the growing season, but there'll be some nice green crunchy peppers. There's still a couple more of them on the go there, some bigger ones. It looks like the plants are actually trying to bush out more. They seem to be growing more leaves than they were earlier on, which is very interesting. They were quite small, compact plants this year. They didn't really get very lush. So that's what's going on the plot this week. Everything's looking very tired and quite messy. There's still a lot of things to do. I'm going to be planting my garlic in a couple of weeks, possibly also some spring bulbs as well. And I'm going to be starting to clear a lot of beds very soon as well and getting them packed up ready for the winter. We've made some decent progress on the new plot as well. It's been very hard work, but at least we've got it cleared and mostly levelled off, and we've started to get the membrane down so we can start doing stuff on top of that as well. You know, stopping them weeds from coming up was the priority really, and getting as much of that rubbish cleared into a pile as we could. Although we are going to have to take that rubbish to the skip, which I'm not looking forward to doing, but we're going to have to do it. We'll have to cut the carpet up into pieces and try and get them all into bags. There's a lot of plastic which we need to take as well, so we've definitely got our work cut out with that. But it's just in a pile at the moment, and we're going to gradually deal with that over the coming weeks and months, hopefully. So that was this week's little update. Hope you enjoyed the watch. If you did, remember to hit that like button because it really helps out a lot. And if you want to see more videos like this in the future, hit that subscribe button and you'll never miss whenever I upload new videos in the future. That's all for now, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll see you in the next one. And remember, happy gardening and enjoy it no matter the weather.